Slayer has already made the statement that he's going to play Lavaloon the entire way through. 10-2, we already saw last week, is a really, really capable Expo player, so I'm really...
2 games, dominating his last opponent in 2 games. Here we go. CMcHugh is in red along the top, Unstoppable in blue along the bottom.
All right, so both players, Pump coming out from Unstoppable, Princess coming out from CNC, and an aggressive rocket right there to make sure Unstoppable does not get that Elixir advantage. A perfect trade right there for CMC.
Don't have the deck list along the side, but just from 2 cards in, I can guarantee you we're seeing another log bait deck out of CMcHugh, the same one that he played in the first match.
Yeah, we might even be seeing potentially 3 Musketeer, or with the Mega Minion, I'm kind of leaning towards Lavaloon, but we'll see.
You think
Royal Giant?
Wow, wow comes out of CMcHugh, wow comes out of me. So here's the catch, Royal Giant, though much maligned on the ladder, not a very good tournament card. Generally what you want to do with your Royal Giant is play it in response to a big investment. They drop an Elixir Collector, they drop a Lavaloon, a Golem, you come in and hit them. CMcHugh has the Inferno Tower, which should normally be a good matchup. He's got to clean up those. Oh, it goes down!
Lightning's going to come down, and the Royal Giant is going to lock onto the tower, and it's going to get some really good damage right here. The first appearance of the Royal Giant in the Crown Championship coming out from Unstoppable.
I think CMcHugh's a little surprised at this because he gave up the thumbs and the well played and all that. At the beginning, I think he expected a little bit of an easy matchup. Logbait has not only the Inferno Tower, has a lot of high damaging troops. You've got Goblin Gang, you've got
Goblin
Barrel, but I was actually thinking of the Knight as well as a pretty good defender.
Oh, yeah.
You just have a lot of decent troops to defend against the Royal Giant. They're all cheap, so you're never like really low on Elixir. But so far, Unstoppable has come out in the first 2 minutes of this game and shown that he is not intimidated by CMcHugh. Almost has a damage lead.
Yeah, CMC's Princess was getting so many shots on that right-hand side. I think he got about 6 or 7.
The trick for Unstoppable, he's got to be really judicious with his log uses. Like, do you log here? If you log here, he's going to throw a Goblin Barrel, you don't have a log anymore. If you ignore this, you're just going to take hundreds of damage. Maybe you should have logged, you know?
Yeah, but now the log is going to come out, and the Dark Goblin barely lives with any health, and the Princess is going to be able to take it down no problem.
And there it goes.
Oh, it does get a shot off, though. Minions are going to come down. I think this tower is going to go down on the right-hand side.
The Princess ought to be able to
might splash. Yep, it splashes onto the tower as well. So the Royal Giant strolling down the left-hand lane. Unstoppable's got to have quite a bit of damage on this left-hand side, or he's going to lose this game.
Great players are excellent at learning and changing their patterns of gameplay. We saw in the very first exchange, I think Unstoppable got the better of CMcHugh in that early exchange. CMcHugh adapts and goes, all right, you're not going to pull that one off on me again. Good job. Enjoy your 1,000 damage. You're not going to rope-a-dope me another time. And sure enough, other than that one push early on, this has been all CMcHugh all day.
Yeah, and that left-hand tower is going to go down as well, and CMC dominates game number 1 in match number 5 of the day.
I mean, how does he do it, right? Because we're all playing the same cards, we all get the same amount of Elixir to play with, and yet it just seems like consistently CMcHugh has Elixir advantage, he has board advantage, he's constantly keeping the pressure up, and he has not once picked a deck that gets hard countered by his opponent's deck. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't once made a bet. We do have a replay technology.
The log bait, and this is when the Royal Giant was coming out for the second time, and the Princess, look at the splash damage on the Princess. It took down the tower, and this essentially sealed the deal for CMC in this match.
Yeah, and that's one of the strengths of this deck, and we mentioned you don't want to play any big investments. When you are down to only 4 Elixir or less, you just don't have that many cards and that much Elixir to defend with. CMcHugh pressures both lanes at the same time. You have to make a commitment of which side you're going to defend, and you're going to take damage on the other side. We see it right here. He lost the right tower because it was so hard to prevent like 150 damage from getting through.
Especially when you just play a Royal Giant down in the back.
Right, and he's not defending the left side because he committed his little bit of Elixir to the right side. I've seen something like, oh, that Mega Minion got a swing on the tower, or like, oh, that Night Witch accidentally took some damage she wasn't supposed to take. Like, you just don't see that come out too much. I think CMcHugh is the prototype for what we're going to see out of future Crown Championship players. He might be the best in the world right now, certainly in the short list of discussion, and I think in 3 to 4 years, every player will be as good as CMcHugh is today.
Oh yeah, and the Giant actually shielding that Night Witch, so Unstoppable has a giant Night Witch push going down, while CMC opts to pump. Let's see if he can defend this push.
He's going to have to be really careful. This is a 9 Elixir push coming down that can be incredibly deadly. He can take a lot lot of damage here on this opening exchange.
Oh, great zap right there to kill the Night Witch. And the Goblins are going to sneak in front of the Giant, but they're going to get distracted by the Ice Golem.
Goblins are still on it, too.
One Goblin actually turned to the tower. One Goblin's still alive. He's doing massive damage, bringing that tower down to 528, down to 270.
More swing.
Mega Minion, 12 health remains on CMC's tower.
Both pump.
Brilliant play from Unstoppable, but CMC does have the Elixir advantage right now.
Look how much Elixir is still in that first pump, though. I mean, he was able to cycle so quickly. It's not like the first pump was, you know, oh, it's low. It had over half health and half of its pumps remaining, but McHugh's almost down a tower.
Yeah, Night Witch Battle Ram coming on the right-hand lane to answer the Giant that was placed on the left. Goblins are going to come down. Zap comes down from both players right there, and it's Unstoppable defend his push pretty well.
Yeah, I think he's going to be happy. They spent less Elixir, defended well. Giant is coming in. Looks like so far unanswered. 3 Musketeers come out again. Will there be a Lightning in Unstoppable's deck? There is a Lightning! Takes out all 3 of the defending Musketeers. A 6-for-9 trade is brutal! McHugh is fighting himself now at a very huge disadvantage for maybe the first time in this entire tournament. 12 health on the right tower, 1690 on the left tower, pumps up again, but he's only got a minute to take a tower, and both of Unstoppable's towers are nearly flawless.
Yeah, and now Unstoppable has 2 pumps on the field as well. Ice Golem, Night Witch, Battle Ram coming in on the right-hand side. Night Witch is going to come down to defend with the Mega Minion, but Battle Ram is not going to be able to connect with the tower because of the zap, and the Ice Spirit's going to jump onto it. No connection.
Wow.
And perfect defense from Unstoppable.
Absolutely perfect defense. I mean, we saw not just a zap to stop it, but an Ice Spirit came down, and before the next charge could happen, it comes down again. Another zap hits.
Oh my. The zaps from Unstoppable are perfectly timed, stopping the Battle Ram from connecting the tower and dealing that almost 500 damage.
We're seeing all 3 Musketeers in one lane. The only reason I can imagine that happening is trying to draw it away. He gets the Ice Golem down just a little too late. 1 Mega Minion swing takes it down. It looks like McHugh is about to lose his very first game of the Crown Championship here.
Yeah, the Battle Ram's going to be coming in. The Zap is going to come down. Ice Spirit's going to come down. Does not connect with the Battle Ram. The Battle Ram is going to connect, but the Goblins and 2 Mega Minions will clean that up. No problem. CMC takes the first loss.
Too much health, not enough time. I mean, the game entirely changes when Unstoppable can get a push like that. When you get a push where in the first minute of the game, their tower is almost dead, you can completely switch modes. You don't have to attack going with more stuff at the river. Here it is. So you can easily with this Night Witch be like, all right, I think that's done. But no, Goblins come down. They help clean up the Night Witch very quickly, throws the zap in there to get him a little closer. And those Goblins were all the difference. And the Mega Minion as well.
Look at the one Goblin in front of the Giant. He's just sitting there. He's dealing massive damage.
But following up with that extra 7 Elixir, the Zap, the Goblins, and the Mega Minion were all the this match matters intensely. So they took a little bit of extra time on deck building, and we are in the match now. Unstoppable looks like he's cycling for something. You normally wouldn't log those 2 skeletons unless you were looking for something specific. There's the pump. And gets the pump down.
I wonder if CMC is going back to the Miner 2.9. Because the Electro are coming out, there's the Miner coming down. It's going to go right onto the pump. And it looks like Unstoppable is going to let that Miner chip away at the pump.
I think he's got to be happy. Look, you can kind of relax. I think he's happy with that setup for a few reasons.
The Knight is getting so much damage on the tower.
He's got to be happy with that. The Miner in the middle would normally be attacked by 2 towers, but with 1 locked onto the Knight, that allowed the Miner to not just clean up the Elixir Collector, but go ahead and hit that left tower a little side. And Unstoppable's looking unhappy.
Oh, he's angry about something. The emotions are flaring in the arena in game number 3 of match 5 of the day.
We talked about how McHugh rarely picks the wrong deck, right? He's at least got a deck that has some game against his matchup. I think Unstoppable's kicking himself because he realized he picked a deck that gets countered very hard. 3 Musketeers has Miner, 4-year Elixir Collector, a lot of opportunities to punish, and with Poison, he's always got something for your Musketeers.
Yeah, and a minute and a half into the game, and that right-hand tower is already down.
And it's not like they're trading damage. McHugh's towers are looking pretty. Not even the paint is scratched.
No, they're very healthy. There might be a little bit of nick in the wall in that right-hand tower, but nothing too crazy.
And we talk about tilt and your mental state when you play this game. Unstoppable's already lost a tower, already thrown some angry face emotes. I wonder if he's going on tilt here, going like, throwing his hands up already, like, God, it's only a minute and a half and I've already got to deal with this.
Yeah, he's throwing 3 Musketeers down with no pump, which is, I mean, CMC's doing a great job countering the pumps, but it looks like Unstoppable hasn't even been able to defend the pumps at all.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that normally you use the pumps in that deck as a bait. You put the pumps down, you want them to lightning the pump so you can then play 3 Musketeers. He didn't go for it. McHugh instead, he minered the pump, attacks with the Knight and Electro Wizard, really puts the pressure on, and saves that poison. No matter what, the poison is going to be saved for those 3 Musketeers.
Yeah, and CMC is just dominating this game right now.
Yeah,
and
this looks nothing like game 2.
No. Unstoppable played awesome in game 2, and he's not able to get that rhythm going here in game 3. He lost that tower early on. The split push from CMC was too strong, and Unstoppable has been stopped once again, falling to 0-3.
We spent quite a few minutes discussing if game 2 was a fluke or flaw, and I think we can chalk it up as a fluke. McHugh looks like he's just on another level in this game. Had a great deck choice, 2.9 Miner Cycle, a very popular ladder deck. Dominates 3 Musketeers here in tournament play as McHugh takes our first game 3 for a 2-1 match win over Unstoppable.
And that is exactly what you had expected, even though I was kind of going for the underdog just because like everybody loves an underdog story. But yeah, CMC definitely showed up. He came to play. He's flashing the Nova jersey, #1.
Each player, which is pretty interesting.
Yep, I was a little disappointed that, I mean, CMcHugh plays so much Miner. I was a little sad that I didn't see like a tornado or something to take advantage of that from Unstoppable. But
oh, look at the value that he was. Got so many strikes off.
That
I think
it was like the first
both
night.
in it.
I know.
Yeah, for the players' names, you should probably write them down, memorize them. You're going to see quite a lot of them throughout this week and next week as well. I'll give you a quick rundown of how this works. So this is a round-robin style tournament, which means every player here is going to be playing every other player once, which means everyone's playing 7 matches. A match is a best of 3 games, and the way you earn points is by winning a match. So even if you lose a game, you'll still get the full point by winning 2 of the 3 matches. Now, it might look a little skewed right now, but the way this scoreboard works is by score differential. So essentially, it's your wins minus your losses. So you'll notice that Rice might be sitting in the middle at 2 wins and 2 losses, so he's technically at a 0 differential, while 10-2's above him at 1-0. And just to explain the color coding at the top, if you do end this round robin in the top 2, you get preferential seeding going into our finals. And if you end bottom 2, you're out, you're done, your dreams are crushed, and we're not going to get to see anymore.